All right, you guys, you planned the wedding, said your vows, maybe even figured out who's doing the dishes, right? But what about those bank accounts? And whether you're all in on what's mine is yours or thinking of keeping something separate, Budget University founder Shelby Patrice is here to help us with some of those options so that you can have the conversation before the wedding day. Good morning to you.
Morning.
Okay, so when it comes to newlyweds and money, what's the biggest mistake do you think that couples make early on?
So the biggest mistakes that a lot of couples make early on is not being honest, open, and transparent. You got to be hot. You got to be honest. You got to be open, and you have to be transparent. Because when it comes to your finances, a lot of people don't understand that 36.7% of Americans divorce due to finances.
Good Lord.
So it is so important that you're communicating this beforehand. You know, what is it that you like? What is it that you need financially? You know, your essentials.
Oh my gosh,
36.7. Can you imagine?
Yeah. Our couple's not going to be a part of that today, just saying.
No,
we're not putting that on them.
That.
But some people say combine everything. Others say let's keep everything separate. So what do you think the pros and cons are of combining everything first?
So the pros on combining everything is the biggest thing, visual communication. So I'm able to open up the Bank of America, whatever financial app I have, and we can see, okay, you got paid on the 15th, you got paid on the 30th, or however you guys are getting paid, and we can see that there's visual communication, that this is here, the light bill was taken out, and the bills are paid on time. The other thing is that, you know, you have everything together and you're able to communicate like, hey, you know, are you okay if I do this? We have it in there. Can I go buy this purse? Can I go do this? And you're able to see it for visual communication purposes. Now, the cons on that is not properly communicating and not understanding your partner's needs or wants, and it's like, oh, well, I didn't know you were going to buy the first round, or I didn't know you were going to do this, and so now it's like you're not properly communicating because it's all together, and you want some for that person and you want some for the other person.
Interesting. Basically, it sounds like if you do not have effective communication, that everything should be separate.
Communication is key.
Yes. Because, but also, let's talk about separate, because I don't want to ask if I have to buy a purse, if I can buy a purse.
Right.
I want to just do it. So tell me the pros and cons of separating them.
So the pros on separate is that, like you said, your money is yours and your significant other's money is theirs. So now that it's mine and it's what's mine is mine and you have yours. So now it's like, okay, I got paid, I'm gonna do what I have to do. You got paid, you're gonna do what you have to do. Now the con on that is the really big con, because you can do one or two things. Let's go ahead and get a separate bank account, or we both put $1,500 a month, for example. That's $3,000 in there, and that's gonna be all of our bills. It's gonna cover our rent. That's gonna cover our gas, our utilities, and all of that stuff. But you don't have visual communication on the other person's side. So are they really depositing that money? What if they were short? What if they don't communicate that? What if they're pulling from the savings? So you really don't know, and you really don't have that avenue to say, what are we doing together? Because I'm really just relying on you,
your honesty.
on your honesty. That's it. To see if you actually paid it.
No wonder so many people get divorced over finances, because it delves into other parts of your marriage. That's the problem. Now, tell me, because we're talking about the issue, right? So let's talk about a solution. How do you have the healthy conversation? How do you bring this up without feeling like your partner's feeling like they're being intruded on or something?
Yeah, so definitely once you get to that phase in your relationship of knowing that you want to make this a forever thing, let's go ahead and communicate. Let's go ahead and say, okay, you know, what are our goals? That's the biggest question. What are our goals? And if we know that we're going to take that step to commitment, let's go ahead and have quarterly meetings, or meetings once a month to say, hey, let's pull up our bank accounts, whether we're together or separate. Are we achieving our goals? Whether we have separate bank accounts or we have a conjoint bank account. What are our goals? Are we reaching our financial goals? Are we both going to commit to $50 in the savings? How are we going to achieve these goals? What are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to not get your nails done every 2 weeks? Can you just go 1 month? What is it that we're both willing to sacrifice so we can achieve these financial goals?
My good girl, you was asking all of the right questions. Okay, you just spilled them out there. So for someone who is looking for, maybe they need this help, or they're about to get married, or any of the things, where can they find you?
You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, Budget University, and that's where we're at.
There we go. All right, Shelby, thank you so much for being here.